Record.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is June 24th, Tuesday. And today is episode number 2 of our morning show. Good morning, Minnie.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty well. I know, in relation to us doing this morning show every day, this morning show is just a part of a multi-part plan to see if we can try a little bit more planning in what it is that we're trying to do, right? Up till now, we've been very flying by the seat of our pants, letting our intuition guide us in terms of what it is that we wanted to do next.
Yeah.
And for a while, that was fun.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun doing that. And, we did a lot of work. But now that we've been at this for a little while, I feel like getting some things specifically in place and being a little bit more deliberate about what it is that we're doing.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to that, but I'm a little bit nervous. Right?
Something new.
Yeah, it's new. So part of our plan involves coming up with a set number of listings that we want to get done on the days, setting aside time specifically for us to go sourcing, time blocks for listing. What are your thoughts on time blocking? Do you feel like that's the way that you typically have liked to work in the past, or have you always been more of a just go for it, do whatever type person?
Probably on the more do whatever kind of person.
Yeah. Have you?
But I do like structure, but within the structure, I like to have a lot of flexibility.
Right, and I feel like that is what the key is for us to find out and figure out is how much structure do we need to put in place so that we see progress in the areas that we want to see progress in, but also we feel like we're having enough fun where it doesn't feel like, oh, I might as well go get a job working for someone else because this is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, with this job, even though we, take breaks or whatnot, we literally work every day.
Right.
It's not like we have weekends off and we don't think about it. We literally are
working.
Which I was thinking the other day, I was like, is that a lot just to be working every day? But it doesn't really feel like stress or work. It's just become a part of our lives.
Our day-to-day lives. Yeah. And that's what I'm, with the additional layer of coming up with some definitive tasks that we want to do each day. It's a tough balance between, again, I don't mind my entire life being in support of what it is that we're doing, but my fear is that this structure that I'm putting into place is going to feel suffocating. Again, it's just, I'm scared of structure.
You're afraid of structure? Me too.
What's up with that?
I wonder if that has anything to do with, you and I are both the eldest children. So I feel like but I don't find us to be, I feel like the type A-ness that comes out of me is not because I'm type A, it's because I've been in situations where I'm just like, if I don't take charge, it's going to be a me or something, it's going to be a headache later. So I feel like my type A comes from that. But I feel like when we're together,
when we're together, you can let your hair down a little bit, and you don't have to.
Not all the time,
okay,
but
all right.
when we plan trips, I'm always like,
True,
and you're like, dude.
Yeah. So when we go on trips, so for example, last year we went to Spain, and more recently we were in Seattle. Both of those trips, 4 months ahead of time, pretty much since the day that we booked the tickets. Which even booking the tickets, Sierra is doing all sorts of research, playing around with different flight times and different airlines, and possibly
Yeah, whatever. Just I want to know all the
flights,
options.
Like buying one-way tickets each way, looking at all the options to make sure that we have the best, or that she's making the best choice possible. Whereas I'm mostly like, oh, I need to be somewhere on this day. Like, let me buy a ticket, and it's just like there isn't a whole lot of like planning that goes into that. I'm just like, oh, it has to be done. Like, I'm gonna do that.
It's weird when I'm alone or travel maybe with you, I'm more like that. But when I travel with like friends that maybe have more like, are similar to me, I usually just take like more of a backseat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because I'm pretty go with the flow, but if I know that it's just me, or I'm going with my family or you.
Do you think, I'm wondering like if people that are, again, like the more like type A, like wanting to plan all the little details, like where do you think that comes from? Like as someone who doesn't really have that drive in them to do it that way, I can't help but feel like sometimes.
I think it comes from anxiety.
From anxiety? Yeah. Do you feel like, what's the healthy balance to make sure that you're...
I think, well, at least for me, the healthy balance I think that the conclusion I've come to is, like, have a plan. Like, have a plan of, the city that you're going to, like, have somewhat, like, know what's going on, write down the places you want to visit, and just kind of know where the lay of the land. And then when I get there, it's just kind of go with the flow. It's not like that I'm like writing out the day's itinerary and following it exactly. It's just like there are these places that that I'd be interested in hitting up, and or there's places that I must go to, and then it's just like, like unless that place requires a reservation or a ticket, it's just kind of how we are. Just like, today I think we'll go over here, check this out. Yeah, it's a mix.
It's a mix.
And I feel like the older I get, the more I'm just like, if I don't hit up a place, it's not like, damn it, like, oh my gosh, my whole trip is like, whatever. It's just like, okay, I'll go see you next time. Like, I feel like when we were even in Barcelona, there are so many, I wanted to take you to like one of my favorite museums, the Joan Miró museum. It's a beautiful museum, or in my opinion. It was in the movie Vicky or something. Barcelona.
Christina.
Yeah, a great view on the mountain. Barcelona. Yeah, and then we didn't get there. We didn't get to a lot of places, but whatever. We had fun.
We had a great time.
We had a great time.
Is there such a thing, do you think, as like going somewhere and like having a bad trip because you didn't do certain things?
No, I think that's what it is. I think we get in our own heads and work it up and get upset, like, I didn't eat this one dish.
Right.
Like, it's not about, Margot was trying to get our attention because she wants to go on her walk.
Yeah,
I wish I could show you what she looked like.
Let's do a little
But she hates the camera.
She does hate the camera. I think it's going to be...
You can kind of see her legs in the...
She moved. Hi, Margot. Good girl. Let's put this back. Can you tell me if it's pointed?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Oh.
Girl.
So a little bit more planning than we're used to, but I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'm just like dealing with these anxieties. Like anytime, now that we have a plan, like my anxiety is...
Because you never had...
My anxiety is, oh great, now I'm not going to be able to meet up, perform the plan.
Why?
I don't know.
You haven't done it yet.
I know. Today's day one.
Okay, so we've gotten...
Here's the thing. That's why I'm glad we're talking about this on day one. Like, I know I came up with the schedule myself.
Yeah, you're the one that
and therefore, like, I'm the one to blame. But now that it's time to go, like, I know that there's a lot of stuff in each of those days. And I'm like, man, I hope I don't burn out doing this.
But it's something that we don't do every day. It's just now we have it on paper.
Yeah, and for some reason, it feels like
more like
it feels constrictive.
Yeah, I know. So I was really, when you were showing me that yesterday, I was like, really?
But how do we? I guess what's the middle ground there?
I think we just gotta think of it this way. We're just trying it out. We're just trying something new because we've tried a lot of different things.
Right.
And we're trying this, and we gotta give it at least 3 days to a week.
Well, I mean, like I only did it for the next 6 days. Like I want to see like for this full like week, like Tuesday through Sunday, if we follow this plan of like being prescriptive about like how many listings we want to get up and what times we want to go sourcing. Like for me, a big part of sourcing and like a big part of the magic has been like the ability to like kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I'm like, all right, like let's go sourcing, and then like figure it out at that time.
You still can.
Good girl, Margo. Yeah. I don't know. Am I being weird?
Are you okay?
Am I being weird?
No, it's not weird. It's normal. But I feel like you're giving yourself anxiety, type A anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's so unnecessary.
And it's crazy because I don't normally have it.
Exactly.
But now that I've put this plan in place, now that I have it.
It might be a good thing.
It may be.
Yeah, but it's not forever. So.
Nothing's forever.
Yeah. So if it doesn't work for us, but I feel like a little structure always works. It's like going to school again. I know, sorry. or I guess work.
No, whatever. I'm not allergic to structure. I just have to keep reminding myself like I'm doing this for our mission.
Right.
Yeah. I guess my biggest anxiety when it comes to this like self-imposed structure, and again, I guess it's a form of anxiety. There's this structure. I'm making myself do this. I'm making myself do this. Like, what if I make myself do this?
And you like it?
No, and it still doesn't work.
No, there's no way.
That's like a stupid way.
But the thing is, there's no way that this can't work.
Right.
Unless you're like actively fighting the schedule. We're gonna sleep
so good.
Well.
We're gonna sleep so good because of the little added stress of like trying to do our day-to-day, but like according to some predefined schedule.
Yeah.
And like that is a small stress. Like it is something to think about, but I feel like once we get into the swing of things and start chugging along,
I mean,
maybe we'll find our groove in the schedule.
Right. I'm sure people are listening to us being like,
you guys are retarded.
Yeah, we do this every day. We have whatever,
jobs,
or kids and stuff like that. Well, you know what? We don't.
Yeah,
we don't.
Yeah.
We're just,
Like speaking of like differences between like the way our lives and other people's lives, I read this post on Reddit today. It was someone complaining, like this guy had done LSD.
Okay.
This guy had done some entheogenic molecules. And he's done it recreationally a few times, and he's had a huge revelation, like positive change for him in the way that he feels about his place, like in the world, like in life.
Okay.
But ever since then, he has felt extremely distanced from everyone around him, and he lives in Michigan. And it's kind of like, I feel like as I read that, I felt I could really empathize with what this guy was talking about, because I feel like that's something that we not struggle with, but something that we definitely know about the way that we are versus the way that the majority of people around us seem to be. And it's a bit more free thinking. It's a bit more big picture, I guess, thinking. But I was really empathizing with what this guy was saying in terms of like he feels like he's being essentially like wangta 당해. Like he feels like alone.
Left
like
out.
He feels like super alone in feeling the way that he does about everything, but like nobody else seems to get it. But I kind of feel that way about us and the way that we're living our lives here in the Midwest, in the burbs of Chicago. And some recommendations that were given to him were like, go find a local Burning Man group. Like people there are similarly minded.
Oh.
But what we're doing, we're trying to, by doing what it is that we're doing, by going out, sourcing great stuff, offering it to our followers, and then also taking the time to share our experience to, again, like, let people really know why it is we're doing what we're doing. And I feel like Gandhi said, like, we're trying to be the change we want to see in the world. Like, this is our opportunity to bring some of that change that nobody else was going to make for us.
Yeah.
And the type of energy that we want to offer to the world is like, only we know that what we have to offer. So it's up to us whether or not we want to offer it up or not. But I don't know, it was just a thought that I had. Like, do you ever feel like us doing what we're doing, you're like, why are we weird?
Why are we weird? Yeah, a little bit of that, or it's mostly like, we are weird.
Yeah, we are weird.
Yeah, it is like...
It just... Yeah. I mean, getting older, like, that's one of the best things that I think has happened is... I think as you get older, you either lean into the weirdness, like you accept the fact that you are weird, you have picadillos and are unlike anybody else in the world. Or I guess you can take that difference and like try to hide it or be ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Or pretend like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And instead just focus on all the things that people have in common, like watching professional sports or watching CBS or things like that. I don't know. I feel weird and good.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, I think we've been at it for an appropriate amount of time. On our schedule today is going to be mostly like today's going to be a photo listing heavy day. So I hope you're ready for that. I'll get my finger stretched out so I can take photos. And all the stuff that we're going to be listing today, you guys can find on our eBay, our Poshmark, and our website. And yeah, follow us on our socials, on TikTok. Here on TikTok, if you're watching this live, follow us on TikTok. You'll see more of the stuff that we have to offer. If you want to check it out, go to our website. If you are watching this on YouTube, keep following us along there. We'll be providing more content. And then, yeah, everybody, please follow us. We love you all. And everyone have a good Tuesday.
Yeah. Stay cool if you're in Chicago. Bye.
Bye.